In this module, you will learn how to select a subset prior to analysis. When completing analysis, you may want to only select a subset that is relevant to your dataset, rather than having all cases included. For example, you may only want to do analysis for the males, not the females. To do this, we use the function selectCases. In this dataset example, 1 is represented as male and 2s are female. So to select only the males to run our analysis, we need to go to Data and come down to Select Cases. Left click and it will open up a function for you. You can see that we have a few options. All cases, if condition is satisfied, random sample of cases, based on time, or using a filter variable. We want to select if condition is satisfied and click the If button to open up the menu. To select only males, we need to left click on sex variable and using the arrow, bring it across. Now we know that males are equal to 1, so we want to select all the variable that is equal to 1. So sex equals 1 and click continue. Something important to note is down the bottom of this page. In your output section, we have an option of filtering out unselected cases, copying them, or deleting them. If delete is selected, it will remove them permanently from your dataset. The default is to filter out unselected cases, and this is the one we want to make sure is selected. So we click OK. You'll notice that an output window will pop up on your screen. This is telling you what command SPSS has executed. So in this case, you've done a filter where sex equals 1, and the bottom saying execute means that this has been successful. When we come back to our main screen in Data View, you'll notice that down the bottom right-hand side of your screen, there'll be something that says filter on. This means that you've applied some kind of filter to your dataset. We also know this as on the left-hand side of your screen, there are strike-throughs through some of the numbers. You'll notice that this corresponds with where sex equals 2. In other words, only the males, or sex equals 1, are now available to be used in analysis. You'll also notice that it's created a filter variable on the far right-hand side. We can then use this filter variable going forward, where 1 will be the variables that we want included, or the males. So by doing this, any analysis that we now run will only include the male participants in this output. To disable the Select Cases option, we just repeat the same steps. We go to Data, come down to Select Cases, left click, and then we can either click the Reset button or click All Cases, and then click OK. You'll notice in your output, it now states that the filter has been turned off. You're now using all cases available, and this command has been executed. When we return to our main data screen, on the bottom right-hand side, you'll notice that it no longer says that there is a filter applied. This means that all cases are now available for analysis. Another thing that you may like to do with your data is to split your file. So when you split your file, you're arranging your output based on some given variable. For instance, you could split your file so it groups all the information for males versus all the information for females. To do this, we need to go to Data and come down the bottom to Split File and left click. We have a few different options. The default includes all cases. The second is comparing groups. Or the third option is to organise your output by groups. And this means that any analysis that you run will have all of one variable group together and all of the other category group together. As we want to compare male and female, we're going to select male or female sex and using the arrow, bring it across into this group. We want to say sort the file by grouping variables, which is the default option, and then click OK. In your output window, you'll notice that sort cases by sex and split files separate by sex has now been run. When you return to your main window, down the bottom right-hand side, it's telling you that the current file is now split by sex. Here we have specified that we would like to organise all the output by sex. So if we then perform a descriptive statistic on weight, our SPSS output will now split it male and female. To quickly run some descriptive statistics, we go to Analyse, Descriptive, and we'll come across to frequencies. Let's run it for weight. So left click on weight and bring the variable across and click OK. Your output screen is now telling you that it's run frequencies for the variable weight. The first section here is male. So it's telling us there are 4 males, and here is listed the frequency of the 4 weights of the male. If you scroll down, we now have the female. There are 6 females in this data set. You can see that there's 1 frequency for 4 of the variables and 2 of the females are 61 kilos. So instead of all this information being presented together, we now have it split for male and for female. If you return to your main screen, we will now need to disable the split file. If you forget to turn off split file, all your data analysis from this point will just be split according to the variable. So to turn it off, we go to Data, come down to Split File, and we select Analyze All Cases and click OK. At the bottom of your output screen, which will automatically pop up, it will tell you now that the split file is off. And when you return to your main data view screen, you'll notice that down the bottom right-hand side, there's no longer a split file turned on.